Carol Dweck says, people with a growth mindset tend to achieve more because they worry less about looking smart and put their energy into learning. If we help others understand growth mindset, they can recognize that they have a choice and can change their attitude towards growing and learning a new skill set. I believe that it is important to develop an understanding of growth mindset in parents in order to continue the language of learning and feedback at home. I want to be sure to help parents understand what tools they have to help their kids understand the power of yet. I created a page of resources using the Bulb app application and platform in order to curate resources on growth mindset, but more specifically for parents. My big focus, I think, throughout this whole course is going to be wrapped around parents and understanding not only in instructional technology, but the more I've been in the first couple weeks of this class, the more I see this as a bigger picture of getting our parents on the same page and helping them gather the same vocabulary and language. So more specifically to growth mindset right now, I've created a resource site that walks the parents through the 4 steps to changing a growth mindset. So of course I started with that video, the first video from our course that kind of speaks about the power of belief, kind of giving the parents an overview of why it's important that our children have this growth mindset. Then I started going through the 4 steps to changing a growth mindset, starting off with learn how to hear your fixed mindset voice. So I used the visual that was in the course. I thought it was really great to showcase the differences and kind of teach the parents how to do that. Then I found a parent's guide to growth mindset from the Big Life Journal that I thought was a really great start to a visual way of looking at a way to understand growth mindset. The next step, of course, is to recognize that you have a choice. And so I added some videos for parents on how to develop growth mindset in our children. So I found a couple of really great videos I felt could talk about the why again, but then also really start up with some strategies that they could actually start implementing at their house. Another video by Carol Dweck that I thought was really great was one of her speeches, but they did the animate piece to it that just adds another extra kind of visual look for parents as they're trying to learn more about growth mindset. Then I also included videos for each age level of for their age level to understand. So a parent could actually use this resource with their kiddo and say, hey, I want you to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about what you learned from the video and what we can do together. So I've got one for elementary. And of course, there are 5 chapters. I just put the first one in this area. Then there's a growth mindset video for middle school age students. And then I found a really cool one that is, again, visual for the high school students, but then also more dedicated to that age level and their understanding. Talks a lot. Then the next step is talking back to it with a growth mindset voice. And I found a really great video. It's chapter 2 of the class dojo that I thought fit perfectly here. Then the famous failures video for middle and high school students, showing them all of the really famous people that also had failures and were able to learn from them, and just as an inspirational space. Then of course, take the growth mindset action. I found great Sesame Street videos that they put together with music and sound, and I thought, what a great way for them to use these songs and learn them together and sing them in the car or play them over the if you have Alexa or something. So the Don't Give Up song with Bruno Mars is great, and then this one here about the power of yet, but also just geared towards kids at an elementary age. This was a really good one for high school, putting growth mindset attitude to work. It's a story about a football star who really talks about growth mindset on the field, but then also off the field. And it talks about how he didn't think he was good at reading, and so he wanted to get better, even though he was a famous football player. It was just a really interesting story that I thought high school or middle school kids could connect to. And then this little video is great, showing growth mindset in action. It shows a little girl kind of struggle through not getting it right the first time and getting frustrated, but then also going back and learning and stretching her brain. So I thought that was great. And then I just added at the bottom
just some resources that I had used, one in the page, and then also some extra little places if the parent's really interested in learning more.
In order to reach as many parents as possible, I plan to use all different modalities, such as face-to-face sessions, videos, newsletters, online resources, our learning management Schoology, webinars, and podcasts. My plan is to revisit the language and content of growth mindset throughout the year. I would like to embed the thinking throughout all of the different parent education topics. As I build my innovation plan, growth mindset will be embedded in everything I do. I believe the attitude of growth mindset will be embedded in all of the work in this course.
What mindset do you have?
A growth
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah, so what kinds of things do you do with a growth mindset?
Like figuring out harder things that you can't do.
And you keep trying?
Uh-huh.
What else?
And don't forget about never giving up.
That's my boy.